Hi y'all, we're gonna make some sweet potato pie. And this is Granny Dearest sweet potato pie, which is David's grandmother, but it actually came from his great-grandmother, which is Granny Davidson. So this is how you start making the sweet potato pie, and it involves getting your sweet potatoes, covering them with water in a pan, and letting them boil until they are done. When you stick a fork in them, it'll go all the way through easily. Now, I'm going to show you the pot. This is the sweet potatoes, and this is what I'm doing right now to get ready to make my sweet potato pie. I'm boiling the sweet potatoes in their jackets until they're done. Here they are. Now, normally, I don't get sweet potatoes that are this large, but you know, we're on this quarantine thing, so I just ordered them, and they went and and they came and put them in my car, so I didn't get to pick through the sweet potatoes. So these are large sweet potatoes, very large, so I had to get out my large pan, and I'm going to let these boil until they are done. I'll insert a fork, and when it goes in easily and comes out easily, I'll know they're done. All right, that's the first step. See you back here after the potatoes are done. Hey y'all, it's time for a really good pie. Let's make a sweet potato pie. Join me over here in the kitchen. Today we're making a sweet potato pie. And you may think, oh, that's old-fashioned. Don't turn your nose up at a sweet potato pie. My 15-year-old grandson can eat a whole pie by himself, so I always have to make at least 2 when he comes over. He loves the sweet potato pie. So these are really good. And sweet potatoes are supposed to be really healthy, so hey, that's a good thing. So what we're doing now, if you've got the book, that would be the Bicentennial Cookbook. It's on page 82. It's called Granny Dearest Sweet Potato Pie. But before I go further, let me clarify the name. I've always known it as Granny Dearest Sweet Potato Pie because that was David's grandmother, and she would always send us sweet potato pies that she had made, which were such a blessing, and our kids always loved them, and we loved them, and so she was a great cook. We loved her pie. But guess who taught her how to make that pie? Her mother, who is my husband's great-grandmother, taught her how to make that pie, and that was Granny Davidson. Now, let me show you what I got over here. Hang on. Y'all know I like aprons. Well, this apron right here was Granny Davidson's apron. And she made this apron. She was a phenomenal cook, and she was a phenomenal seamstress, and she made some gorgeous quilts. But this is an apron that she made, and it has been gifted to me by David's family, and I love this apron. And today, in memory to her and all of those great cooks out there, I'm going to wear her apron as I mix up her recipe for a sweet potato pie. So here we are. I'm putting it on. I love aprons, as you know. So I'm going to get this apron on and get it where it needs to go. Okay, and then we're ready to move on with the sweet potatoes. Now, I showed you earlier how to do the sweet potatoes, but let me show you what you do if you need to check for doneness on one. I've already got the rest of them in here, but if you need to check for doneness on one when it's in the pan, you take a fork and you just stick it in there. If it goes in and out real easy like that, it's ready. Now, one of the first things you have to do is boil your sweet potatoes, which I showed you earlier. And then what we have to do is peel this. Now, you got to let it cool or you're going to burn your fingers, so let it cool. And what I do is pull off both ends, and then I just pull it off with my hands. Real simple. And you got to have your little place to put your scraps over there, the peel. Okay, there it went into the pan, and there it goes. And then, how do you mash these things? These are so easy to mash. You take a wooden spoon, you just mash it. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you what you need for one making of the pie, but I'm actually making more. So, I think I'm making about 5 pies. So, anyway, I'm going to tell you what it says in the book. Now, if you don't have the book, go to dannastandridge.com to find the recipes. Or you can watch me on YouTube, and I would love it if you would like and subscribe on YouTube. And if you would go to my Facebook page and like it, that would be terrific. But remember, if you don't have this cookbook, you can get the recipes at www.dannastandridge.com. Okay, So I've got the mashed potatoes here. I mean the sweet potatoes, and I've mashed them up. There's quite a bit of them. We're going to mash them. Then we're going to add the butter, sugar, vanilla, and nutmeg. Okay, y'all. This is really easy. Here's the sugar going in. Let's go ahead and put the nutmeg in. Let me tell y'all about the nutmeg. I try to get the whole nutmeg. You can use the powdered if you've already got it, but how it comes is in a little nut that looks like this. Okay, and you take the outer part off, which I have done already, and there, voila. And then you just put a little dash. So what I do is prop this on there and just have a little go at it. And when you start to smelling it, it smells good. Remember, I'm doubling this, so you need to do half as much as I'm doing. Smells divine. Maybe just a little bit more because I love it. Okay, there we go. We got that done. We got to get some vanilla, and we just need half a teaspoon of that, according to the directions. Okay. And we got to get the butter, and then I'm going to start stirring all this up. Now you can put this in in a mixer. Use your big mixer if you want to, but I've got my little hand mixer out that I've had since we got married, and I will use that if I need to. So I'm just going to try to nip it up right here as I go. No need to make a mess. So I've got the butter, the sugar, the nutmeg, and I've got the vanilla, and we're just stirring it up. So that's what we're doing. It's easy. Real easy stuff. And I got on my apron that I'm so happy with. So this is a good thing. And remember, people, if you've got recipes of a loved one that you don't have written down, try to find that cousin or aunt or whoever that's got it. Or if you're blessed to still have that relative with you, go in the kitchen with them and watch them cook it. All right. Well, this is looking mighty, mighty fine right here. Okay, and the next thing we have to do is combine the eggs and the milk. Now, I've done broken my eggs in here, and I've in my cute little pottery container that I like. And now we got to open the milk. Now, remember, we're using evaporated milk. Now, this evaporated milk was going to make this so creamy. So, give it a little shake, and then you're going to just do a little pour spout and a little air spout. And then you're just going to pour it in. And whisk all that together. See how easy is this? You thought it was hard, but it's not hard. It's just so easy. Just whisk it all together. There we go. And when we do, we're going to add it in. Y'all, this is so easy. People's going to think that you work so hard and long on it, but it's really, really, really easy. So now we're going to stir it up. Stir it up real good, and see how easy this is. It doesn't take a lot of equipment or anything. Okay, we just stir it up and keep stirring until it's all incorporated. Now, it's going to take a little bit unless you want to pull out the beater, the mixer with the beaters, but I think I'm content to do this. It's kind of therapeutic. And just so you know, I want to give this pie to my father-in-law, Jack, and to Pat, you know, because they've just had a bad situation with those tornadoes coming through. They've lost 3 barns and 2 silos and farm equipment and tools. When the barns fell, you know, it's just not a good thing. But the good thing is that there was nobody hurt. So there's a lot of trees down on the fence line, so he's got to work on them, and David's up there doing his part and, you know, doing what we can to make things better. And I'm just going to try to give him a little comfort food with a sweet potato pie that has been handed down in his family for generations. Now, sometimes when you're doing sweet potatoes, you'll find little pieces, little dark pieces. Just pull those out. It's no big deal. It's just part of the sweet potato. If you've ever eaten one, you know it's there. Come on, don't act like everything's all perfect, because it's just the way potatoes are, and it's okay. It's the way God made those potatoes. So if you see anything that looks like a little speck of peeling, just go ahead and pull it out. It's no big deal. There's another little piece. All right, if you can see this looks beautiful, and I made that homemade pie crust earlier, so if you need to know how to make homemade pie crust, you can go to my video and watch it. It's on a different video, but what we're going to do right now is pour this up in the pie crust. So let me pull my pie crust over here. Now, while we've been doing this whole thing, I've had my oven heating up, and it's been heating up on 350. Now, these pies have got to bake for an hour and 20 minutes at 350, and then they'll be done. So let me pull my pie crust over here, and we're going to pour them in. All right, here goes one. There's a little piece of dark. I'm pulling that out, and that's got to run together. Let me get another one. Now I'm going to neaten that up in just a minute. Don't you worry. We want it to look good, don't we? There's two. Now Granny Dearie used to make her pies very, very thin. She wouldn't fill them up to the top. She always had very, very thin pies. And that's how we liked them. I think I'm going to get 4 pies out of this one. And that's a good thing. Let me put one more over here. Scrape it in, scrape it in. All right, there we go. We're gonna just do a little shake and make sure they're getting all steady. And we're gonna put these in the oven for an hour and 20 minutes. So I'll be back in an hour and 20 minutes to show you these beautiful pies. But let me give you a word of caution. When you're cooking your pies, if it looks like your crust is browning too soon, just cut you some little strips of aluminum foil and put around there like that, and it'll protect them. But I'm not gonna do that until I'll check it later on and see what's going on with it. So an hour and 20 minutes, then we're gonna have some wonderful sweet potato pies to go along with this beautiful apron that great Granny Davidson made. So see you in a few minutes. Well, we're back in the kitchen. That timer's about to go off, and we're gonna pull out our beautiful sweet potato pies. Now remember, if you see my apron here, this is from David's great-grandmother, Davidson, and I'm privileged to be the owner of this beautiful apron that she had. Now it's been gifted to me from their family, and I really appreciate it. She handmade this along with beautiful quilts, etc. She was a great cook as well. And what we're about to do right now is check on those pies and see if they're ready to come out. So give me a sec. Oh my, they look so pretty. Look at that beautiful pie. Oh yeah, these look good. And remember, they've got homemade pie crust. And boy, wasn't that an adventure? Look at that one in my beautiful green dish. Look at that pie. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Tell you what, these other two are not quite brown enough on the top. I'm gonna leave them in for a few more minutes, so give me a sec. Hey y'all, I'm about to pull Great Granny Davidson's sweet potato pie out of the oven. I've got 2 of them right here that I just pulled out. I'm about to pull 2 more out, and then we're gonna do some taste testing, baby. Oh my goodness, look how good this pie looks. Ooh, somebody's gonna love me when they get a taste of this. And that's all right. There are perks to being the cook, you know, when stuff turns out good. Ooh, it's hot in here. Ooh, this looks so good. Look at this one. So, okay, these sweet potato pies, we're about to get ready to taste up. Let me turn off my oven. All right, now I cut a little piece of one off earlier because you know it is hot. Normally you want to let these sit a little bit and come to room temperature and stuff. And I'll tell you how I store my pies. After they come to room temperature, if we're not eating them at the time, I put them in the refrigerator. Now you can freeze these pies, but you need to wrap them up good to freeze them if you want to make a bunch and freeze them for later. But I'll be taking these to Jack and Pat Standridge and David and all the folks working on the farm so they can have some good eating and feel better. But anyway, I'm going to taste this sweet potato pie right now. Here we go. Y'all ready? It's a little hot. Wish me luck. Say a prayer for our country, for the folks on the front that's taking care of us so we can get our groceries, the truck drivers, the grocery folks, the nurses, the doctors, everybody that's taking care of us. Say a prayer for them and all the folks dealing with the coronavirus. All right, y'all, here we go. That great grandma Davidson, she knew what she was doing, didn't she? This is so good. Y'all got to make this. Your family's gonna love it. Love it. And I'm just gonna keep eating. All that pie crust turned out good too. All right, y'all. From my heart to your kitchen and your family, keep your heads up, y'all. Love you. Have a great day. Bye.